friends, Lissa here for another recipe video. Today we are going to be making a rainbow pad thai. This is one of my favorite recipes in my Dips and Dressings book. If you guys haven't gotten a copy of my book or any of my other recipe books, you can head to the link right here to get your ebook copy, or you can go to Amazon, search my book, and it should show up there as a print version. So if you are interested, head on down there, check those out. And we are going to get started on rainbow pad thai. So I'm going to make this dressing a little bit different from what's in the book, but it's still going to be delicious. I'm just making a couple tweaks to it. You can do the same or you can follow the one in the book. Either way, it's going to be fantastic. So we're going to start by chopping the mushrooms. I want to have marinated mushrooms, but the mushrooms kind of have to marinate a little bit, and I'm going to marinate them in the dressing. So I'm going to slice these mushrooms really quick. You don't have to do 3 mushrooms, but I want to. So you can do 2, 3, 4, 5. It depends on how much you like mushrooms. You don't even need to include them if you don't like mushrooms, but they are an option for you if you want to make them in this pad thai. All right, once all the mushrooms are in your jar, we're going to start on the dressing because, like I said, we want the mushrooms to be marinating in the dressing. Now, it's an awesome idea if you make your dressing, say, the night before work the next day, or if you're going to have your dressing sitting for a little bit of time, to put mushrooms in your dressing so that they can sit with the dressing and marinate. That way, they get softer and they're delicious. So if you like mushrooms, that's a great tip. So we've got our trusty Vitamix here, and we're gonna fill it with some awesome, delicious ingredients to make our pad thai dressing. Now, like I said, I am adding a couple extra ingredients to this, but I will be following pretty much the pad thai recipe in my book. We're gonna start with some coconut aminos, and I'm putting about a tablespoon in there. This is just what I had left in the jar. I'm going to be adding 6 pitted medjool dates. Actually, I'm only adding 5. You could add 6 if you wanted it to be a little bit sweeter. I'm going to add the juice of a lemon. Now, the recipe calls for a lime, but I don't have any limes. So I'm just going to use this zebra lemon that I got. I have half a tablespoon of miso paste. This is an optional ingredient. It's not in the book, but I like to add it to give it a little bit more of a salty flavor, and it also works good for marinating the mushrooms. 3 cloves of garlic. Again, you don't need to add that much. You could start with 1 and work your way up, but I love garlic, so I add a little bit more. I'm also going to add a small chunk of turmeric. Turmeric is amazing for bringing down inflammation in the body. And according to Dr. Michael Greger, he says that if there's one food that you eat every single day, it would be turmeric. So I like to throw it into my dressings here and there. I try to have it every day. It's really, really good for that and keeping your body low on the inflammation side. So we're gonna add that, and we're going to add some ginger. No pad thai is complete without ginger. And again, ginger is another one of those superfoods that's probably one of the most researched foods on the planet. So we are going to add the ginger to our dressing. Next up, we have the fats that are going in this dressing. Now, I have 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds and 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds that I'm going to add to this dressing. An option could be to add 2 tablespoons of raw almond butter. That gives it kind of more of a nuttier flavor, and it can be a good variation if you get tired of the tahini flavor. You could try the almond flavor. It's just as good and super delicious. Moving on, I've got nutritional yeast. Again, this one is completely optional. If you don't do good with nutritional yeast, you can leave it out. It's still gonna taste amazing, but I like to add it for thickness and a little bit of a sort of cheesy flavor. I'm only adding 1 tablespoon. You could add more, you could add less, it's up to you. Moving on to the spices, can't forget those. We've got some smoked paprika, and this is my favorite spice of all time. I love it, I add it to almost everything. So you could start with a 1/4 teaspoon, but I like to add a lot, and this is actually sweet smoked paprika, so you can add a little bit extra and it's not as spicy. It really depends on the kind of paprika that you get that is smoked. Again, this one's sweet, smoked paprika. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of a really hot chili powder. You can add mild, again. Really definitely depends on your tastes. If you find things are a little bit too spicy, then hold off on it. You know, just go slow. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon, you know, 1/8 of a teaspoon if you find that it's too spicy for you. And just work your way up, because you can blend it, taste it, add more. It's up to you. But this is how I'm making it, and I'm so excited. So we're going to add just a little bit of water, probably about a 1/4 cup. And as it's blending, I will add more based on how the blender reacts to it. So I don't want to make it too runny. I'd like to have it quite thick, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get blending. So now that the dressing is blended, we're going to pour it into our jar with our mushrooms. And then, as a finishing touch, I'm going to add just a little bit of red pepper flakes. This will make it spicy. So remember, if you don't like it spicy, don't add those. I'm also going to add some onion flakes. I really, really enjoy the texture of onion flakes. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons to my dressing. And now that that's all ready to go, let's shake it up. Now, like I said, you could let this sit in the fridge overnight and marinate and take it to work the next day. We're just going to let it sit and marinate a little bit while we chop the rest of our veggies for our salad. The first ingredient we are going to put in our pad thai is spiralized zucchini. I'm going to use 1 whole zucchini, spiralize it, and add it to our bowl. Beautiful zoodles. Let's add them to our big bowl. Next up, we've got broccoli. I'm not putting too much in because I have so many ingredients to go in the salad. So I'm really only going to put a small amount of each in just to give it color. So next up is kale, and I've got 5 leaves here. I'm just going to de-stem them. So I basically pull the stem and I just peel them down the side. I find the stem to be a little bit harder to digest, so I don't always like them in my salads. You're more than welcome to leave the stem in if you want, but we are going to be taking them off. And once they are de-stemmed, then you can just slice and chop, make them bite-sized, cut them however you desire. I'm going to cut them lengthwise and then slice down the side. Add that gorgeousness to your salad. The next 4 ingredients, I'm going to be using this peeler. It's basically just a potato peeler. We're going to do the carrots. We're going to do the peppers with that and the purple cabbage. So let's start with the carrots. Check out these awesome carrots. They are gorgeous. I'm going to put a few aside and probably make some little roses with them. Totally optional. Again, I'm getting a little creative with this, so I'm going to do that. But this will go in after. Now I'm going to work on the peppers. Look at what we got going already. Super colorful. Oh my gosh. It's going to be gorgeous. Let's get to the purple. And I like to do this over the bowl because it causes a lot less of a mess. And then just take your peeler and just go down the side of your purple cabbage. Now the next step I want to do is I want to chop these green onions diagonally so they give a little bit of more of a pretty feel to them. And you can add those right into your salad. And I'm going to add just a few of these to the salad. And we will mix it up. I have my gorgeous serving bowl. I'm just going to place my pad thai in here. And play around. If you're plating it, just play around. Once you get it how you like it, and I know I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, but then I'm gonna put all the rest of the ingredients inside this bowl because after I take my pictures, I'm just gonna put this in the bowl and eat it as is. So this is just for photos, and I think it's looking pretty good. So let's add our dressing. It's smelling delicious. So let's put a couple mushrooms on the top. The rest of the dressing, of course, is gonna go in the big salad. Let's decorate our pretty salad. I've got black sesame seeds. That always makes everything look even prettier. Just sprinkle those on there. So I know this took a little bit of time to create, but it's beautiful. It smells amazing, and like I said, after I take pictures of it, it's all going in this bowl, getting mixed up and enjoyed for dinner. So whether you want to eat it like this or like this, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to my channel to get notifications for more. You can click on the little bell button, which will give you notifications as soon as I post a new video. You can find me on Facebook, Lissa's Raw Food Romance, on Instagram at Raw Food Romance, and on Snapchat, Lissa Raw Vegan. Again, you can get any of my cookbooks as ebooks at this link right here. So you can head over there and grab yourself an e-copy. Or if you want to get the traditional paper, you can head over to Amazon, search the title of the book, and it should show up. All of my recipe books are on Amazon, so you're in luck if you like paper versions. All right, until the next video, guys, fruit on.